Coming up on this week's Soap Scoop, we have an exclusive clip from next week's Emmerdale, a lovely chat with Rosie Bentham, who plays Gabby. She's going to preview that wedding coming up with Vinny. And we are going to preview next week's Coronation Street with that big reveal for Swarla. Becky's back. And we're also going to look at EastEnders. Lots of drama for Zoe and Max to come as well. But first of all, over to Rosie and this week's clip.
Thanks. Why didn't you RSVP?
Well, I thought she'd tell me not to come. And I figured it'd be harder to ignore me in person.
Why would you not want her here?
Because she knew what I'd say. Don't get married.
What? Why?
Do you think I could have a few moments with my daughter, please? Alone?
No, they can stay. They can listen to your mad ramblings, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't you?
No, not a clue.
So, hello and welcome, Rosie Bentham, to the Inside Soap podcast Soap Scoop. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Really well, thank you. It's so lovely to be chatting to you because my heart has just been going out for Gabby in this storyline. I mean, how are you feeling about the fact that she's preparing to marry another man who sadly is just not into her for similar reasons as perhaps others have been as well?
Here we go again, honestly. My heart breaks for her. I feel like this was finally going to be her happy ending, but we don't know what's going to happen after the wedding day, about whether he's going to turn up or not. But having to question whether he's going to turn up or not again, it's just like, it's unbelievable. But obviously the story's quite complicated from Vinny's side. He's got a lot going on, and I think Gabby is just very, wants perfect wedding, wants, getting walked down the aisle, everything to be all dreamy. And Vinny, at the end of the day, like, ever since Liv has passed away, like, he's been the one who's been there for Gabby, kind of her own friend. So I don't know, I feel quite protective of their little friendship because, yeah, she hasn't really got that many people in the village who do look out for her. So I feel like she's putting all of her trust in Vinny. So fingers crossed it goes well.
I know. Is she kind of taken after her mum Bernice a little bit in that she's becoming a bit of a magnet for these situations?
Honestly, every kind of love story of Gabby's, I think she's very like Bernice in the, way that she's so impulsive, but also like so romantic. She loves kind of a love story, but unfortunately, kind of as Bernice did, picking the wrong partners with baggage. Obviously with Bernice, I think it was Gavin cheated on her, and Ashley was torn between the church and Bernice. Bernice always gets swept up in all the drama, which is kind of what's happening with Gabby now, bless her. And they both end up as collateral damage. So we'll see what happens.
Do you as a viewer sympathise with Vinny's situation? Because obviously you're protective over Gabby in one sense, but equally he's having a tough time, and, there must be people feeling these things every day.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to kind of show the struggles that are going on, and it's nice as a viewer because you kind of saw it at the start and there was like a few planted seeds, and then he obviously reached out to this website and stuff, and it's been really difficult to watch and to play as well because Bradley's he's in the scenes, but he's also really not because Vinny is so struggling elsewhere. And there's been points that we have to step back and go, actually, this is really, really sad on both parts, because I see that Vinny doesn't want to hurt Gabby, but he's also struggling with what he thinks, his sexuality is. So, yeah, it's tough. But of course, yeah, I sympathise with Vinny's situation. And I think Gabby, she's got a heart. She will definitely understand, hopefully. But yeah.
Was Gabby ever aware of that Bluetooth incident when Laurel overheard everything? Because I wasn't sure at the time if Gabby had also overheard something, or is she still completely in the dark as to what's going on with Vinny?
You know what? Gabby is completely in her own little world. I don't think she knows anything's going on. The thing with Kammy, with what she thinks has been an assault against Vinny, she's obviously very passionate about that situation. But yeah, as regard to the Bluetooth thing, she'd never heard anything, doesn't even know it happened. Laurel heard obviously a little glimpse of it. I think she heard about Vinny doubting his feelings for Gabby, or whether he's ready for the marriage or something like that. But yeah, as far as Vinny's thoughts on his own sexuality go, I think that's very much still in his head, and he's not unfortunately he's not opened up to Gabby
at all. And so talk us through that moment that Gabby gets to the church and Vinny's not there, because that's every bride's worst nightmare.
I know it's kind of happened twice for Gabby now, but I think she's not really been speaking about it, but it's definitely in the back of her mind that this could happen again. Like, she's just very like, I've been treated badly by Jamie, Nikki. There was the physio at one point who was obviously still seeing Laurel. She's like, I think on the day, she's confident that, hey, okay, this isn't going to happen. It's all going to go very well. Other stuff comes up on the days to do with Bernice and Laurel and Kim, because obviously Gabby wants someone to walk her down the aisle, and it's quite funny actually because all of them are kind of fighting over it. And Laurel ends up injuring herself, so she isn't able to walk Gabby down the aisle. I can't remember, I think Kim is in Dubai on holiday or something, so complicated about who's going to walk her down the aisle. And on the day, that's like her main focus. It's like just making sure everything's perfect, and then next minute she gets told by Kammy that Vinny is nowhere to be seen. So in that moment her heart drops, and in her head the whole day is just a shambles, cancelled. She feels humiliated, embarrassed, cannot believe that this has happened to her again. I think she's just in utter disbelief.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, inevitably at some point it's going to come out because it's Emmerdale and it's soap. I mean, what would you like to see happen in terms of Gabby's reaction? Would you like to see her go off the rails, or will she like to really toughen up? What's your dream scenario?
My dream scenario is that Gabby and Vinny remain friends and she supports him through this. I think for her own sake, it would need her to walk away from the romantic situation, because I think she just needs to be strong, and she needs to realize when a situation is, not going to work out for her. I would advise her to focus on being a mother and really knuckle down into business. I mean, it would be quite fun if she turned into like, a bad girl era. I think that would be quite fun to play, just like swing the complete other way and go, you know what, love, not for me, move forward, let's, she's always very driven in a business way anyway, so it would be nice to see that. But who knows if there's another man waiting around the corner if they don't work, so I don't know. Or they could live happily ever after, who knows.
Well, I was going to ask you, if it does all head south, I mean, is there a dream celebrity crush that could come in to pick up the pieces?
Do you know what would be nice though? It would be nice someone with like a little bit of humour as well, like a little cheeky chap. I think that would be quite fun for Gabby to play opposite, because kind of, play off each other, and because Gabby's quite sarcastic and like to the point, I think be quite good. But also I kind of see her with someone like a little bit older, quite driven, sophisticated, that type of vibe. So yeah, but we'll see. It's never smooth sailing in love in Emmerdale. So
I did wonder about her and Kammy. I know he's had history with Sarah, and obviously he's got the Belle thing going on. But what about Kammy and Gabby as a bit of a twist, given that Vinny?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that would be a twist, and I think he's got the cheeky like side to him. I think things could very easily go wrong with them. Like, he's obviously he's got a bit of a dodgy streak to him, and Gabby's very ruthless. So that could be fun, see what happens there. Yeah, I think there's quite a few options, but yeah, she'll always, I think she tends to go head first into like the physical attraction thing with Gabby. She's like I remember when Nikki walked through the door to be the nanny, and she was like, oh my gosh, she's so hot. She doesn't shy away from it. She doesn't shy away. If she wants something, she's gonna be forward about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's only human, so
the opposite of me, because I'd just be like, really shy about it. She's just like, full, let's go.
Fair play to her. Life's too short. This is not your first rodeo as a bride on Emmerdale. What do you make of Gabby's dress this time round? Do you prefer it to last time? What's your thoughts?
I think it really shows Gabby's different life stage that she's at. So when she was with Nikki, I think that one was very kind of Hollywood. It was big curls. It was like off the shoulder. And I feel like she went all out with that. I think there's been some stuff. Obviously, there's been a health scare with Gabby. There's been everything going on with Kammy and everything. And I think when actually Gabby knuckles down to the day, she's got this dress that really kind of represents that. It's very sleek. It's very, she's got her hair up this time. It's actually kind of the look probably I would like. It's really nice, actually. I felt a bit like Rosie instead of Gabby, actually. Yeah, we went wedding dress shopping, which I've been wedding dress shopping twice in my life now, and I've never been a bride. It's very funny, but I really, really like this time's dress, and I had a veil as well, which was different to last time. So yeah, I was really pleased with it. It was nice.
I was going to say, has Emmerdale helped you for the future? If you were ever planning your own wedding, you'd know exactly what you'd want and didn't want.
No, yeah, or like signs that it's going to go wrong. I don't think I should be questioning where the groom is.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's not in your future, but for Gabby, it has been. So what's it been like having Sam Giles back as Bernice? Because that's got to have been fun.
Yeah, and I love Sam Giles coming back. We have such good fun. I mean, as usual, Bernice it's going to be a big entrance, isn't it? It's going to be a big entrance, and she's going to go head first into the drama, which is it's nice because that is just typical Bernice. So I think she's got some tension already with Gabby, and some stuff that she needs to talk to her about. So it'll be interesting to see what that is and how that affects the wedding day. But it'd be nice if she came back, long term, then, come back, relaunch the salon. She's always kind of the leader in the village gossip, her and Nicola. So it would be nice if that could return. But I think as well, her character coming back, it would bring lots of laughs into the village and big over-the-top reactions about everything. I think she's a great addition.
Yeah, she's a reliable source of comedy, Bernice is. And yeah, just I kind of don't ever think of having left properly.
Yeah, I know. Because she's obviously come back and left. I've been in Emmerdale for 9 years now. So in that time, I think she's left a few times. But yeah, when she's around, it's always chaos, but good fun.
And talk to me about working with Bradley Johnson. What's your friendship like with him in real life?
Oh, yeah, me and Bradley get on so well. He's a dream to work with, and we have such good laughs. We're similar age as well, so it's nice because we can, off screen we have lots of banter and stuff. He's great, and obviously he's part of the Dingle clan, which Gabby's never really had a nosy into that apart from business stuff. So it's nice because he comes along with Mandy and everyone like that, kind of walking into the Woolpack as part of the Dingle clan versus the Tate side. It's very, very different. But yeah, it's been really nice. And if it all goes wrong, I would really miss working with him. So fingers crossed they still make things work.
What was both of your reactions? When you found out you were being put together, but then when you found out the twist, were you both surprised?
Yeah, I think when we got put together, we were a little apprehensive about where it was at with the Liv story, because obviously dating your passed away wife's best friend, whatever, it was like a weird mix. But I think they kind of got to know each other on a different level when they needed each other for like comfort. So it was nice, and it actually we felt like the more we worked together and the more scenes that we got, the better it got, and it started to really, really work quite well. And our characters were, a little bit like chalk and cheese, but just worked.
Yeah, no, it has been absolutely lovely. You've had like a really lovely on-screen chemistry together, I think, from the moment.
It's been quite full on as well with the whole like physical intimacy type. Like I say, Gabby doesn't do things very hard, so yeah. But it's been funny. We've been able to have a laugh with it, which has been great.
Yeah, no, it's been really, really good. And also seeing kind of like Gabby's loyalty shine through for the Dingles when she's been finding out about stuff that's been going on at home farm. That's been quite nice because, she's historically the last couple of years been quite loyal to Kim.
Yeah, and I think she's usually very ruthless and very wants to stay on Kim's side the whole time. I think this shows that she's starting to feel a lot more confident in herself, confident in the unit that she's creating with Vinny and Thomas. And she's like a bit like, I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. I can make my own decisions. And also, like, she has a heart, she has a conscience. And if she knows something bad is going on, like, she's going to say it. And I know Joe Tate isn't everyone's best mate. I mean, Gabby and Joe haven't actually massively crossed paths. So kind of it'd be fun to see them butt heads in loyalty to Kim, kind of weighing it up. Do you know what I mean?
I know you can't tell us exactly what happens on the wedding day. That's going to be a surprise for viewers. But if you could kind of sum up just the sort of stuff that you've got ahead for Gabby. I mean, is it a roller coaster? Have you been filming lots?
Yes, I've been filming lots. After the wedding, there's lots of drama going on, and there's a big secret that actually gets revealed of Gabby's, and that shakes things up even more, makes it a lot more complicated feelings wise from Vinny, Gabby. But yeah, if the wedding doesn't go ahead, I think it's going to be heartbreak and tears. But if it does go ahead, I think something needs to be delved into about where they're going to go from this, whether Vinny needs to tell Gabby everything, because I don't think, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a marriage going wrong already and it's not even begun. So
yeah, there's lots to come. And I mean, obviously, I know Emmerdale and Corrie are going to be gearing up soon for the big crossover episode that you've got at the start of next year. I mean, we'll wait and find out, but have you got a dream Corrie crossover if you could act with someone?
I'm not sure. I mean, I can't say I'm a big avid Corrie watcher, but I think there's a character, is it Carla? I feel like she's always involved in the big messy plots with secrets and romance and stuff, and I think she's got quite a lot to do with kind of business opportunities and stuff like that, so it'd be quite fun to kind of see them. But I can't wait for the crossover. I think it's going to be so exciting, and it's just a cocktail of characters. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive TV event. And I actually love that you said that about Carla, because you're right, she's kind of like, I suppose, the Kim Tate parallel of that would be really, really interesting. So we'll wait and see what you've got coming up. It sounds like you're busy, so that's good.
Yeah, I've been really busy, actually, really, really busy. And I love working with everyone that I've been working with at the minute, and the wedding day just kind of brings all of that together. And it was really nice, actually, a really hot day when we were filming the wedding, and everyone has such a good laugh. So yeah, we'll just see what happens after.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rosie. It's been a pleasure to have you on Soap.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure we'll speak to you again once we know what happens after the wedding. Fingers crossed.
I think you'll have a lot more questions after that.
Well, that's a lovely note to end on. Thank you so much.
Perfect. All right. Bye. Thank you.
This week, I've got special guest star Chloe Tim. She's filling in for Johnny Hughes, who's dared to have a holiday. Chloe, she's such a lovely chat, Rosie, isn't she?
I know, it just breaks my heart that poor Gabby's going to have her heart absolutely crushed. And I know Rosie's desperate for a happy ever after for Gabby, and so are we.
I know. I can't believe that, it's going down this road again for her after everything that happened with Nikki. It's inevitable, isn't it, that she's going to find out about Vinny and it's all going to come crashing down. But yeah, I'd like to see Gabby just go rogue after this and just enjoying a wild era.
She's going to turn into her mother, basically, I think. I mean, she's already halfway there. And I mean, Bernice is one of my favourite characters ever in Emmerdale. So I'm very excited for her Bernice era.
Me too. Now, we've heard a lot about this week's Emmerdale, and there's plenty more to come, but we've got to get on to Corrie, Swarla, Becky. You and I did a bonus episode last night where we reacted live to the developments of Becky being alive, and now we're going to throw forward to the week coming up where this story continues. Lisa wants answers, and rightly so.
Yeah, and she's going to go to the press and expose Costello if he doesn't give her the answers. I mean, taking on Costello seems a pretty risky move, but I think if anyone can do it, it's Lisa. I actually wonder whether this could be the making of Kit, because we've seen a lot of tension between him and Lisa, and he's the one that's kind of saying to her, look, Costello's a bit dodgy, I think you should back off. But I think Kit could be the one that might, side with Lisa and try and figure out what's gone on, because we don't actually know whether Becky's telling the truth. We don't know whether Costello's telling the truth. Is there more to this? There's definitely something fishy going on with Becky, I think. Whether she's going to be just a thorn in the side of Swarla or whether there's going to be something more nefarious, I don't know. What do you think?
I've just storylined something crazy in my head based on what you've just said. So I really like this idea that Kit might actually become a friend rather than a foe for Lisa, and that they build up this amazing police partnership in the face of Costello and all the corruption. But then one of them gets gunned down Warren Brown style like he did in Luther, and it'll have to be Kit, won't it, because we love our Lisa and we can't let Swarla end in that way. Not that I want it to happen to Kit, because I do actually quite like it. So I've just thought of it's kind of like a crossover between Line of Duty and Luther, which doesn't answer your question about Becky. Yeah, there's so much more to come with that, I think. And also this week, the big thing isn't it, that Becky wants access to Betsy.
Oh my goodness. heartbroken for Betsy already, because can you imagine, like, you're, as far as you know, and as far as Betsy knows, her mum is dead, and the thought that she could just walk back into her life. I mean, I don't really think Becky's thought this through, because we don't know at the moment whether she's actually going to do it, whether she's actually going to sort of announce herself to Betsy. But if she does, how is Betsy going to react? Is she going to be pleased? Is she going to be horrified? Because at the moment, Betsy's got this lovely new family. She's got Carla, who's basically, she's accepted as her new mum, who's going to get married to Lisa. And now her mum's going to walk back into her life. I just think it just would make your head explode. And I think it could cause major problems for Swarla. But I also think it's really juicy drama, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I know. As a Swarla fan, the idea that Becky might come between them is a bit of a scary prospect. But what I will tell you, Swarla fans, is that when we got the notes from the Corrie press office ahead of time to know that this was going to happen, there was an interesting line that said something along the lines of Lisa is ready to bury Becky again, not in an awful way, but just think that, you know what I mean? Like it's not like this woman has re-entered her life and it's a straightforward thing. It's like, you know, she's got this new chapter with Carla and that lovely family setup that you mentioned with Becky. So I think Becky is going to have some trouble. You know, whatever the story is behind everything that's gone on, you can't just reintegrate yourself into somebody's life after pretending to be dead.
No, and Lisa's gone through all this therapy and counselling to try and kind of put her grief to bed. She's taken off her ring, and I think she's totally ready to move on. But I do wonder whether it's going to kind of stir up old feelings, whether this is going to be the kind of the big test for Swarla ahead of a potential wedding, which I think is classic soap. You know, if you're going to have a wedding, you've got to have that big dramatic will they, won't they? And I mean, what is more dramatic than the dead wife showing up? And I think a lot of Swarla fans were feeling a bit torn over whether they wanted Lisa to move on, whether they felt that kind of exploring the grief thing was realistic, because obviously if you're grieving for someone, that could go on for a really long time. But I think this is going to bring up even more demons from the past, because Becky and Lisa have had this whole life together that Carla's not a part of, and now is Carla going to feel pushed out? Is there going to be awkwardness in this relationship? I'm really excited to see the kind of tension, because I think so far, yes, they've had tests and yes, they've had drama, but they've been so solid and they've been so together that, I mean, I do think they can survive anything. I think Corrie has kind of, you know, pledged their allegiance to Swarla forever. They've given them a gorgeous looking house. But I think that this is going to be a really interesting test for them as a couple and as a relationship, and we're going to see kind of highs and lows. I think it's really great drama for a couple, and I'm really excited to see it pan out.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I'm kind of really interested to see Carla vulnerable, because she is such a strong character and she's really been there for Lisa in these last few weeks when Lisa's been struggling. But to flip that round now, and because, you know, we've spoken previously on this podcast about this is the relationship that Carla feels safest in out of all the ones that she had. So to have that kind of now sort of hanging in the balance because of the return of Becky, I think is a really interesting prospect, especially as we know what an amazing actress Alison King is and that brilliant partnership that she struck up with Vicky Myers. So yeah, I agree with you. As you know, as kind of nervous as we feel about the future for them, I think what happens along the way is going to be really great.
I think the bigger test that it's going to prove how strong they are as a couple, and they're going to bring Roy into it this week as well. Carla, I think, will probably lean on him a bit, which I'm always looking forward to Carla and Roy scenes, so that'll be really nice as well. And we've got Ryan as well, who's part of the kind of is it Swain Connor Swains? I don't know which way around is preferred, but I think he'll be a great support for Carla. I've loved his scenes with her kind of when they were planning the proposal. So I think they've got a great unit. I think there's lots of really interesting dynamics to explore. And also there's the question, isn't there, as well? Becky, is she going to be, you know, is there going to be good intentions there? Or is she not just a dodgy cop, but a dodgy person? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that moves us on nicely. Speaking of dodgy people, There's been much going on in EastEnders after that epic big week. Zoe shot, Max back. Oh my God, they really threw the kitchen sink at the first week of September. What are your thoughts on it? And tell us where this is going to go from here.
Well, back with a bang, literally. I just thought it was incredible. I mean, that scene in the storm, Jesse Wallace, Joe Ryan, I literally felt the years melting away. I can remember watching that Make My Mother scene. So seeing them reunited, I think it just gave me chills. Like it was just so powerful. And, you know, of course it's a little bit cheesy with the rain and everything, but I think they had to do it. I think the nostalgia that it gives everyone is just pure joy. And I'm so glad that Michelle Ryan came back. I think a lot of us probably thought she'd never come back. So really exciting to see. And Max Branning, I mean, Max is, and I know you love him as well, he's one of our favorite characters ever. So seeing her come back and to also be connected to Zoe, like my mind was blown. I did not think that he would be connected to her. I'm actually starting to think now, like, could Zoe and Max be the next, Max and Stacey? Because we know Stacey's off. So Max is going to need some love interests, multiple probably. So could Zoe be the one to, give him that bit of Slater wild energy? I'm just so excited by that dynamic, really.
I thought that an obvious choice for Max was going to be Cindy because they hate each other because of all the history. Obviously, Max is responsible for her eldest Stephen's death. He had the affair with Lucy. So they are going to clash or be clashing, obviously. But I wonder if hate will turn to lust as these situations sometimes do. So, yeah, I love a bit of Max Branning. I will confess that in some of my early years at an Inside Soap Awards party, Jake Wood came along and I had to go over and say hello because I love Max. And I had a camera in my hand. So I think he thought I was going to ask for a picture. But actually, I kind of just leaned in for a kiss on the cheek. And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, God. And it was all really awkward and embarrassing. So I've just told everybody who listens to this podcast that story.
It's fine. We're all friends.
Hopefully he's forgotten. I'm sure he won't remember me. But it was like in 2009. But I think that is the effect that Max Branning has on many people. So that's a compliment.
Yeah. I mean, if he comes to the Shears Awards, do we need to keep you away from him? That's the question.
Probably. I think so. Don't worry, Jake. I'm going to keep my distance. But yeah, so also coming up then in next week's EastEnders on the back of all of this, Zoe, she's got a few skeletons in the closet, hasn't she?
Yes. And what I thought was really interesting is that they're going down at the twins route again, because we know that Kat had twins. Although, how do we feel about the whole Kat twin thing? Because as far as we know, she's got obviously Zoe and Zoe's twin brother, who kind of very hardcore EastEnders fans will know. As far as we know, Zoe's twin brother is a Irish Catholic priest who also might be a serial killer. Yeah. If you were a fan of Redwater, you will know this already. Whether that's going to be dealt with in the show, I don't know. But I mean, I would kind of love it if he came into EastEnders, but who knows. But really interesting that Zoe's had twins as well. And unfortunately, one of her twins died. But we also know that there is another one out there and Zoe's trying to find them. I kind of feel like it's inevitable that she will find them or they'll come into the show in some form. But that's really exciting to have more Slaters out there. And it also felt like there was so much drama with the gun going off. And now we've got this kind of conflict between Jack and Ravi, which my senses are that it's going to somehow lead back to Denise love triangle, because now Ravi's with Priya. Could this lead somehow to Ravi and Denise getting back together? I know the voters voted for Denise and Jack, but could the Denise and Ravi fans out there be getting some kind of hint towards the future? Who knows?
I voted Ravi, so
I voted Jack because yeah, I did. Do you know why? Because I just love Ravi and Priya. Yeah, I've slightly gone off Ravi with the whole drug dealing, drug lord thing, but I'm massively into him and Priya. I think they've got fantastic chemistry. I can kind of see it with Denise, but I don't know. I do like the whole Denise Branning's setup. So yeah, I'm sorry, I voted for the opposite team.
I love the fact that we were on different teams. That's brilliant. Because I agree with you, actually. I'm not a massive fan of Ravi in amongst all the drug dealing stuff. I kind of love him in romance. Wonder why that
Yeah.
but yeah, no, so that's interesting that we voted different ways. But do you remember Chris Clenshaw said before he left that even though that vote went to Jack as per the public's demand, that might not have been the end of the story. So I don't know whether that's a continuing thing now that Ben Wade is in charge, but I think he was Team Ravi.
I think he was as well. I think if you watched some of the backstage videos, I think he did vote for Ravi. I think people just love Denise being in the thick of the drama and having all the blokes after her. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen going forward, because I think Ravi getting involved in all this sort of drug den stuff is, I think, going to lead him on to quite a dark path, is what I'm thinking at the moment. What that means for Priya, I don't know, because I think Priya is such an amazing character. I personally think Priya should be basically like the star of the show, because I think she's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you about Priya, actually. I kind of feel like she has the potential to be kind of a new Stacey if given the right material. So sort of that character that comes in a bit brash at the start, but then you completely grow to love them. So yes, definitely more to come on that. And well, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, Chloe, because normally I've got Johnny on the other side. So we've had this is the problem. When me and Chloe get together in the office, we just chat soaps and then we can't stop talking. But we're going to have to, because you people have probably finished your commute or you're washing up and get on with your lives. But yes, so thank you very much for today, everyone who's tuned in. We've got another exclusive chat next week. And yes, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment so we can bring you more chats and bats. But thank you very much and we'll see you next week.